in his voice. "Would it surprise you if I said I didn't? Then why did you set yourself so vocally against his family after the tragedy?" "Because I felt justice still needed to be served." I turned from the shrine and started walking away, curious as to whether Child would follow me. "Fair enough," he said, "but that opposition cost you dearly, didn't it?" I bridled, halting next to what appeared a highly realistic sculpture but was almost certainly an embalmed corpse. "Meaning what?" "The Resurgam expedition, of course, which just happened to be bankrolled by House Sylvester. By rights, you should have been on it. You were Richard Swift, for heaven's sake. You'd spent the better part of your life thinking about possible modes of alien sentience. There should have been a place for you on that ship, and you damned well knew it." "It wasn't that simple," I said, resuming my walk. There were a limited number of slots available, and they needed practical types first. Biologists, geologists, that kind of thing. By the time they'd filled the most essential slots, there simply wasn't any room for abstract dreamers like myself. And the fact that you'd pissed off House Sylvester had nothing whatsoever to do with it. Come off it, Richard. We descended a series of steps down into the lower level of the monument. The atrium ceiling was a cloudy mass of jagged sculptures, interlocked metal birds. A party of visitors was arriving, attended by servitors and a swarm of bright, marble-sized float cams. Child breezed through the group, drawing annoyed frowns but no actual recognition, although one or two of the people in the party were vague acquaintances of mine. "What is this about?" I asked, once we were outside. "Concern for an old friend. I've had my tabs on you, and it was pretty obvious that not being selected for that expedition was a crushing disappointment. You'd thrown your life into contemplation of the alien. One marriage down the drain because of your self-absorption. What was her name again?" I'd had her memory buried so deeply that it took a real effort of will to recall any exact details about my marriage. "Celestine, I think. Since then you've had a few relationships, but nothing lasting more than a decade. A decade's a mere fling in this town, Richard." "My private life's my own business," I responded sullenly. "Hey, where's my Voluntour? I parked it here. I sent it away. We'll take mine instead." Where my Voluntour had been was a larger blood-red model. It was as baroquely ornamented as a funeral barge. At a gesture from Child it clammed open, revealing a plush gold interior with 4 seats, one of which was occupied by a dark, slouched figure. "What's going on, Roland?" "I've found something astonishing that I want you to be a part of. A challenge that makes every game you and I ever played in our youth pale in comparison." "A challenge?" "The ultimate one, I think." He had pricked my curiosity, but I hoped it was not too obvious. "The city's vigilant. It'll be a matter of public record that I came to the monument, and will have been recorded together by those float cams." "Exactly," Child said, nodding enthusiastically. "So you risk nothing by getting in the Voluntour. And should I at any point weary of your company, you have my word that I'll let you leave." I decided to play along with him for the time being. Child and I took the Voluntour's front pair of seats. Once ensconced, I turned around to acquaint myself with the other passenger, and then flinched as I saw him properly. He wore a high-necked leather coat which concealed much of the lower half of his face. The upper part was shadowed under the generous rim of a Homburg, tipped down to shade his brow. Yet what remained visible was sufficient to shock me. There was only a blandly handsome silver mask, sculpted into an expression of quiet serenity. The eyes were blank silver surfaces. What I could see of his mouth a thin, slightly smiling slot. "Dr. Trintignant," I said. He reached forward with a gloved hand, allowing me to shake it as one would the hand of a woman. Beneath the black velvet of the glove, I felt armatures of hard metal that could crush diamond. "The pleasure is entirely mine," he said. Airborne.